No Ideas Original.
Aïda, I want to welcome you to the No Ideas Original platform.
Well, thank you for having me.
The next thing I want to say is thank you for your contribution to nostalgia. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for even tapping in with me to be on that. That's a dope fucking project. I was checking it. I finally got around to actually finishing it. Pardon me, because I'm gonna have to post up the actual my review, not my fake review, my fake promo for y'all for the whole album. I know sometimes I'm throwing up my verse, but I've been trying to promote my own shit. You can't knock me for that.
I don't blame you.
It's a dope project. It's a dope project all around. It has like that real like rap feel. It's a rapper's rap album, if that makes sense. So
thank you. I think, and that's what we were going for too with it. That's exactly what we wanted. We wanted something that sort of was theme oriented. Like the first project we did, I'll tell anybody that listen, I feel like it was like all over a place. It was like a proof of concept album, just to be like, as a podcast, we've interviewed a lot of people, so we could tap in and pull artists together and put a project together. But for this particular project, I was like, I want to select like specific people, and I want to have like a sound to it, where kind of it's like a soundtrack or a score kind of thing.
But it had like just that classic, that I'm from New York, so I don't know where you guys are from. So it's I'm like, oh, okay. So it was like a New York sound and feel to it, which I appreciate. So
word. So being from New York, I know you said you're from Queens. You're originally from Queens?
Yeah, Queens. But I'm like Cameron. I'm from everywhere. I'm a hustler, so I move all around.
So with that being said, how has growing up in New York and primarily being from Queens influenced your music and your music style?
I mean, I'm a New Yorker to the core, even outside of the music, to the point that it's crazy because they gentrifying this whole fucking city, and like when old New Yorkers hear me, they like, yo, you a breath of fresh air, sis. Like you New York. I'm like, this isn't how I talk, and I'm like, damn, like, yo, is your neighborhood? Then they like, yeah, they got us. But with that being said, like it influences everything. And I had an interview last week. I don't know if you guys know Carrying the Culture. Taj from Jamal, excuse me. And he was asking about like excuse me, no, it wasn't him. Pardon me. It was my homeboy Scotty. I'm so sorry. The transporter room. And we were talking about like how even though rap that's being pushed now was like a different kind of, whatever. It's cool. It's just different. But I'm like in New York, like rap is still rap. So like even the younger generation, they listen to the new shit, they listen to the drill and all of that, but they still gonna listen to like a 50 Cent, a Fabulous, a Jada, because like New York has never lost this sound, at least here. So you know what I mean? So like, that's all I can say. So it's in everything I do, the way I breathe, the way I talk, live, everything. It's all New York, baby.
Yeah, you know what I think? Expedited gentrification.
Money.
Well, of course that we know money, but but this is what I'm saying. Like the aesthetics of it, like during the pandemic when they started having to eat outdoor bistro stuff and setting tables up, and now you walk through the hood and you're like, damn, them tables are still out there. People getting gunned down left and right, but people still sitting out there eating burritos or whatever tables. I'm originally from the South Bronx, and one of the things, like if you go like to the South Bronx and you look at like right there, what is it, like the 3rd Avenue Bridge? They call the area down there Sobro.
Sobro now.
Really?
Like it's art galleries.
I had a homegirl that I used to go to college with. She lived off. I used to take the 6th train to Brook Avenue. She was like around that.
Yeah.
So that's like part of that too. Like the.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. She like.
Wow. Let that happen. No offense. I would expect black people to kind of be like, yeah, it's cool, whatever. They be doing that bullshit, but they ghetto as hell. They let that shit. Wow.
Yeah, you can't stop them. They on a roll.
Damn. But you know what? In all fairness, once they like Brooklyn was the test run. Once they were able to lock down Brooklyn, it was like we got the rest of the fucking city, because they slowly but surely trying that shit in Queens too, in Jamaica and in parts of Far Rockaway. So it's coming.
Yeah, you think about like Bushwick and stuff like that, how it once looked to how, gone.
Yeah.
Red Hook, that same area too. Like, that whole it's crazy because I always joke. I'm like, yo, like you white people live in parts of Brooklyn I wouldn't even walk through. Like I would never.
Same thing in Harlem too. Same thing in Harlem. Like the crazy shit about gentrification though is that them same apartments that people had that they were paying whatever the regular amount is, like once they get those people out, they raise the rent up astronomically where people can't even afford to live in them.
No, I mean that's the plan. They were squeezing everybody from Harlem and Washington Heights into the Bronx. They also did this shit where they would they were buying their apartments for dumb cheap. They would give them a lump sum of money just to get these apartments. And a lot of people, they don't have money like that. So if you get presented with a lump sum of money, you're gonna take that shit because you're not thinking with the long term. And they push a lot of them into the Bronx. And then the same thing with Brooklyn. They basically pushed everybody into like Flatbush and Brownsville. Like outside of that, they took over the rest of Brooklyn. So
So let me give people that's watching a tip if they know gentrification is coming. If a Whole Foods just randomly pops up,
or a bike lane, if they made a bike lane, a lane specifically for the bike.
You got a Trader Joe's.
I love Trader Joe's. I ain't gonna. I can't do that on that one.
So being from Queens with him, got a lot of rappers out there.
Oh yeah, Queens. Listen, I'm biased. I'm always gonna say we got the best rappers. Curtis Jackson is my GOAT. I've never hit that. He's like, obviously, Riot Squad, Stack Bundle, Score 2Gs, like they at the top for me. And of course Nas, that goes without saying. I don't think I should even have to fucking say that. I was, Cormega, one of my absolute favorites. I mean, Mobb Deep was cool. I wasn't a big Mobb Deep fan. I could respect what they did. I just wasn't necessarily a fan of their music. Lost Boys, I love Lost Boys. Of course, LL. I'm a woman. I was in love with him back then. Now he might be a little, so that's his right. I'm just not into that.
It's interesting though. It's interesting you would say that you like Cormega, but that you never really gravitated towards Mobb Deep because it's kind of like that was
let me tell you why. Listen, I have like a whole a dissertation on this, right?
Okay.
So I have Cormega, Nas, and AZ. They're like a trio for me. It's all the same style, but on a spectrum, right? So like I have AZ is like he's like the super, like, he's on his God body shit like to a T, through and through and through. He's like really like, he's metaphysical. Then you have Cormega on the other end of the spectrum. He's like he's raw. He's he's like unrefined in a sense. He's just like that raw. But he's smart. He's intelligent. But he just doesn't necessarily deliver it in the manner that an AZ would. Right? He's speaking to you in some raw terms. Then with Nas, I have him right in the middle. He's like half of he has like the wisdom and all of that refinement of an AZ, but he's still raw like a Cormega. So it's kind of like. Yeah, that's just always been my thing. It's the same way I compare like South Park, Simpsons, and Family Guy. Just like, it's like a little fucking spectrum. So
are you familiar with $500,000?
Yeah. He was dope too, but he was a little before. Well, I guess they were all before my time technically, but I think like he got cut too short. I'll just say that.
Yeah. But a lot of people what's interesting is that a lot of people say that later on, AZ kind of adopted his style because AZ and him had partnered up for a while, and like $500,000 was actually bought in on some of the firm stuff also.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
that's a good point. You're right. That's a good point. I ain't gonna take that from you.
But I've never heard anybody say that they prefer the Lost Boys over Mobb Deep. That's different. What part of Queens?
It's also, that's what I'm saying. It's like the Queens. It's the demographic too. Like Queensbridge was basically Long Island City, which is it's like Woodside. Like they on the other side. I love Queens, but they on the other side. Like I got to take like 2 buses to get to them. You know what I mean? Like it ain't like I could just like walk over or ride my fucking bicycle. Like Jamaica's a different element.
Yeah. Actually, closer to Manhattan than closer than you, right?
Yeah. They're on the other side.
59th Street Bridge.
Yep. Yeah. So it's all good. The Lost Boys forever, baby. You bugging. You know why? They were like my first G unit because it was like they were in the neighborhood. Like you saw them, especially if you went to Jamaica Avenue, you will always see like same thing with LL. LL was always like roaming. He was always riding around Queens, like Farmers, St. Albans, like that whole area. So there's certain people that you always saw. But I'm sure if I lived over there, if I lived in Queensbridge, I would have probably saw Nas and Nature and all of them, perhaps. Noriega and all of them. But if I was in Left Rack, I would have probably saw Nori. But I was in a different section. So same thing. Like I tell people all the time, there was one summer that 50 Cent, I kid you not, he used to ride around in a yellow Hummer giving kids money, just giving innocent at nighttime, just giving them money. I remember that. And I remember being tight because I was like at the light right before I was stuck at a red light, and I'm like, ah.
How did you get into writing? And when I say writing, not only being an MC and writing rhymes, but also, an author.
Yeah.
I think that's just my natural gift. I always, even in school, like that's how I used to get my A's in the class because I wouldn't do homework. I wouldn't go to class, but I would ace them tests, especially when it came to like, like the reading comprehension. You had to like write your fucking answers. It wasn't multiple choice. I was like, oh, I'm a skedaddle, do this. So I've always been a dope writer. I actually when I went to college for criminal justice. So it's like we had to learn how to write according to like American Psychology Association, APA. So it was like I always had like a refined aspect to writing also. And as far as the book goes, it's like I said, that's my gift, baby. Like everybody has like their thing. Like that's my thing, writing and then being able to deliver it and deliver a certain message to people. So
yeah. You went to John Jay?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to John
Jay.
Jay.
Back from John Jay. You know what I mean?
There you go, your Lost Boys. I went to John Jay for 2 years and then realized I didn't want to do anything criminal justice. Yeah.
That's dope. I'm not trying to get too invasive, but you want to
I'm in my 40s.
Now, what years?
Okay. Oh, I was in there 96 and 97.
Okay, yeah, that's before me. That's cool.
Yeah, I was in 96 and 97. And I was just bored with like a lot of the courses. I was like, damn, like it just wasn't. I don't know. It was something about it. Like,
what were you trying to be when you first started going there?
I think I wanted to do something involving law. You know, I wasn't certain exactly what I wanted to do, but I think what probably turned me off is it was so much law enforcement.
Yeah, it's a cop school essentially.
Yeah, and I was like, damn, like it's a lot of law enforcement, and it was just boring. It was like a lot of classes. I was in there like
really?
just like it wasn't for me.
Fair. Were you like, was that always your thing? Because I think for me personally, I'm a Libra, right? So like my thing, I'm a diplomat. I'm very like, so I'm always into politics and all of that, and like just for the people. So I think that's also why I gravitate towards that, because I wanted to be. Listen, I was always supposed to be poor. I wanted to be a fucking public defender. I had no intention of going to school to make money. It was like, nah, like I was here for poor people. And then when I was there, I got really into like forensic psychology and criminology, like the psychology aspect of it. But I was already like in my junior year when I really, really gravitated towards that. And I was like, I don't want to fucking switch my major kind of thing. Like that's a waste of fucking time. So, you know, I wrote it out and I finished with the criminal justice aspect, but like, I always like, that's my thing. So even now it's like when I rap, I be trying to like give you motherfuckers some real fucking information. Cause it's like, nah, some spiritual shit that's going on. Like you fucking, you know, I'm trying to be righteous with the rap shit, but then it's like, you know, it's a business too. So like, I got to finesse it a little bit, make sure, you know, I can also make you money if you're trying to pay me correctly. So.
Yeah. So here's the thing, because I think a lot, and listening to a lot of your music, you do put out a lot of gems and a lot of information. And once upon a time, I would say like probably late 80s, early 90s, a lot of the rap was rooted in information and knowledge and dropping jewels. It's moved away from that. Why do you think it's moved away from that?
Come on, baby. Come on. The almighty dollar. We know that's the root of everything. I don't knock it either. I'm not here to say yay or nay because, you know, it depends on what you do with the information. Because in the same token, once again, in New York, at least, like that shit never went away. Like you still had like real niggas in the street, like, you know, and they were still giving you that information. It's like till this day, like sometimes I feel bad, especially for women, because I'm like, yo, it's clear you never been around real men, like real men that are like actual leaders, you know, stand up men that are noble, they do the right thing, not because somebody's like wants them, not because they try, not like that's their fucking character, right? And back then, a lot of our rappers had like they came from that, and even if they weren't necessarily 100% on that, the people around them were on that type of time. So it was like now we keeping you on that, but obviously, you know, whatever is business, people do things or whatever, and like people make other choices, and then they gatekeep because not everybody's real, you know. And then we got to a time where across the board, it's not limited to rap, just a certain type of entity or spirit, collective spirit had power, and you know, that's that. But real power never left; it just went underground kind of thing. It had to learn how to blend, because if you look at like certain rappers, you look at like a Fabulous, right? He's like a top tier MC, a rapper, but like he never yet really broke a certain a different kind of level, right? But in the same token, like he make dope fucking music. I get it, but like he's still like we still fuck with Fabulous. Like he didn't have to go and get to that level kind of thing. So we always had that kind of like, I guess, rapper archetype in New York. You look at like a Cameron, he's like, he's a legend, he's a goat. Like, I mean, and these people navigate multi-million-dollar deals, but they still remain, you know, intact with that, if that makes sense. So
I was having a conversation.
Sorry, I'm like, I can't give any surface-based answers. So y'all are in for
no. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I was having a conversation actually about Fabulous maybe like 2 or 3 days ago, and one of the things that I was saying is like, so 30 years, 40 years from now, what is Fabulous legacy going to be in hip hop? Think beyond New York, because we're all three of us are from New York. But when you look at when they open up the books of hip hop, and they say like what his contribution to the culture was, will he have made an impression that they'll be like this was his contribution to the culture?
No, honestly, nah, I don't think so. Outside of New York, not necessarily, unless you unless they getting into like the intricacies of every, lyricist or MC kind of thing. But not to take anything away from him either, but like that kind of skill set comes a dime a dozen, right? Like especially if you're in New York, everybody could fucking rap. Like they just don't necessarily record or take it seriously. But like, what I mean, you could meet a fabulous like any space in New York kind of thing. So it's, it's not impactful. Because even when you think about like his style and stuff, like he had a stylist, like his style changed up a little bit. So it wasn't even like he kind of like, I'm gonna use Cameron again for an example. Like he's very innovative. Like at the end of the day, like like he's himself. Anything he does, it's like his stamp is on it. Like that's his shit. Not to take anything away from Fabulous once again, but outside of like him actually rapping, there's no, it's like it's generic dope. It's dope. You know what I mean? But it ain't special in comparison to like.
I mean, what he has, I think what he has going for him is longevity. But the thing I see with Cameron that sort of separates him from Fab is that I think like even with Cam now doing this sports show and Cam kind of stepping into the realm of an executive with it, like when you open up the history books from a culture standpoint, they'll say like this is a guy who transitioned from making Cam's first album. I still like Cam's first album to this day, even though like Confessions of Fire. I like that album.
Cam's in my top 5. It's just I always say this when it comes to Cam. Cam's one of those people like I would have to meet him personally and actually speak to him on a personal level to get to know him, because otherwise he's very misogynistic. I agree with him on almost everything, but I respect my feminine energy. I ain't gonna tell you how to be. You're free to be yourself, but it's just not. I'm not compatible with it, but I also know he seems very smart. He seems like he plays up on that kind of archetype generally to kind of like, whether sell you a product or ruffle your feathers or whatever. And I get it because I do that too sometimes. Like, like I'll talk like a whole fucking madam. I'll tell you, I'll fucking put your daughter right there on the corner. Don't play with me, girl. You know what I mean? So I get it. But there's certain people I'm like, I love them, but maybe he might be one of my like idols I should never meet. So let me just respect him.
But I think and I think like he has other intangibles that when they 30 years from now they'll look back and they'll be like, well, Cam has.
He's a different kind of intelligence. Not to cut you off, he's like he has a high powered brain, the same way a Curtis Jackson has a high powered brain. Like he functions. You know what I mean? And if you look at him, he takes care of himself. Like he's very health conscious on a lot of things. Like it's so many. It's a science to it. But he's also gifted at the end of the day. Like some people have the it factor. Fabulous, he could rap his ass off. He doesn't have the it factor. There's nothing about him that necessarily stands out to you. It's like he's a dope rapper. There's nothing more, nothing less. You look at a Cameron, it's like, he got it. You look at a 50 Cent, he got it. You know what I mean? So same thing. I'm not necessarily a fan of Cardi B, but she has the it factor. They use it.
Well, you know what I think that Fab's legacy or contribution could be to hip hop, but I think it's too far gone now. It could at one point probably you could have said fashion, because ironically a lot of people look at Fab and like, from fashion standpoint, the dude's a trendsetter. He's this, he's that.
Yeah, but that was Emily B. Emily B did all of that shit, baby.
Alan, right?
That was his stylist. That's what I'm saying. I could give him the fact like he knew how to sell the product. So he's like a good model, sure. Like you know what I mean? But so I guess he's a great model in that aspect, because I think I'm gonna have to be fair. Like if it was a conversation about Naomi Campbell, like she's not, it's not necessarily her style. She, other people styling her, but I'm still giving Naomi Campbell the kudos. So you're right. We could give him the fashion kudos. You got it.
Yeah, like but the only thing about it is like 30 years from now, hip hop, so much fashion is in it now. Like, will it be defined? So I don't know how that conversation came up, but I was like, I just don't see Fabulous like when they open up the history books as somebody saying like, Fab was somebody who pushed the culture forward or left an impression. I mean, he do got dope records. That I'm lying. He made good songs.
You know what though? I could give him the punchline aspect, because like while he came around like the early 2000s, everybody started really getting that punchline shit. But he really was one of like the people that like really catapulted that. So I could give him that. Him and then Lloyd Banks came like
Lloyd Banks.
But Fab. I remember when I was in high school. I think I want to say a sophomore or junior, if I'm not mistaken. Like Fab came in again. He used to be on like the Clue mixtapes. So I could give him that. And if we want to look at it like that, but I guess because they had so many other rappers around at that time doing the same thing, they might not want to credit him. I don't know, but
maybe his legacy, it could be like the first person to transition from a mixtape and have major success, because he Because I remember when Fabulous was Fabulous Sport.
Yeah. And Fabulous Sport and mugs, right? Remember those?
Yeah, Fabulous Sport. Go ahead, Ken.
So it was interesting, all of this stuff aside, right? And we don't see the wow factor and the fashion, and we don't know what the legacy is. You got to realize he must have major support, because he's not just a person that raps who's getting by. You're talking about a guy that's rich.
Yeah.
So if for us to say that he's somewhat, I don't want to really label him this way, somewhat of a regional type of artist, he's done incredibly well for himself, which means that in this particular area, he has to have got like almost max support from everybody.
Yeah.
So it may not be like a long range or long reach or something, but I guarantee you the people in Tri-State will recognize his consistency throughout the years. Plus, too, you got to remember, a lot of people who started with Fab, we don't see him no more.
That's
He's
true.
Still here.
That's true.
He's still here. Like, there's a whole list of who's who started at the same time as Fab that we don't see, remember, or anything else. And he's still putting out records, and people that are younger like him and people that are older like him. So he got his fan base, and his basically reach, although it may be regional, spans age groups and all types of stuff. So he's got a pretty big following.
Yeah. I don't take that away from him. Like I said, I just know the question was in terms of like impactful, because I don't, outside of the Tri-State, I don't see like people over there in fucking Europe kind of like, well, Fabulous,
No.
So, but in the same token, he doesn't need that to be happy. I'm sure he's rich. He's rich. So like,
yeah. Okay, so a comparable type artist, Jadakiss and Fab, when the books are open, I'm sure people, what is it about Jadakiss that would make people say, okay, this is somebody legacy wise that pushed the culture forward, that his name will be more cemented? Or that's just my opinion. Something about Jadakiss, I think, says that Jadakiss will be more cemented and recognized 30 years from now for whatever his rap prowess is. And you can make one, we could say, in my opinion, Jadakiss is a better rapper than Fabulous. That's my opinion. But when you open up the books and we talk about legacy includes artists that's not necessarily probably the best MCs that have catapulted the culture. So what is it though about Jada that will say 30 years from now left that impression on the culture?
It's his spirit. It's who Jada is. You never ever gonna come across anybody that say anything other than that's a real nigga. He always show love. Like he's it's a spirit at the end of the day. That's really what it boils down to. And he also had like businesses. I remember when I was in, I want to say like early 2000s. I know he had a strip club in Yonkers. I think I'm sure he does like the coffee thing now, if I'm not mistaken. He's really on his entrepreneur shit. So and in the same token, he's always like, he's another one that like, if you up there in Yonkers or Westchester, right?
Westchester.
Yeah, excuse me. Like you're gonna see him. They see him all the time. The Lock's one of those people, groups of people that like, you always see them in the hood kind of thing. So they still relate to the people in that aspect. And I think when you relate to people, they always remember that. You know what I mean? Same thing. How Fabulous has support and he has a following. Jada also has that, but I think it's more on a relatable level because it's kind of like like you actually interacting with him kind of thing. So don't forget that. That's my take on it. I don't know. I could be completely fucking wrong too. So
I think Jada has more reach too, because I think he's actually endeared himself to people more so out of the Tri-State area too. People definitely respect him more outside of here just because he works with them, he's around them, and like you said, he's open to him. Fabulous seems like a more reserved type of person. Yeah, and Jada, I mean, as much as we don't want to, Jada definitely has more crossover hits, I would say, than what's in what Fab would say. Fab has a lot of stuff we like regionally, but like when you talk about why and the fact that, I mean, I hate to say it, as much as he's in the media now, being around Puffy and being in them videos. I
was just gonna say, he was around since like mid '90s, since like Biggie, and then he was around Biggie. That's another, something that's gonna be stamped with that too. Like he was around this kind of thing, around DMX and all of them.
Yeah, you can make that argument. When was the first time you said to yourself, "Damn, I really got something with this. I really could do something with this music thing"?
I kid you not. I gotta look for this. I gotta find people that went to junior high with me, because in my fucking yearbook, I swear my cunt, one of it gave you a name and then it said, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" Right? It was like 8th grade graduation. My shit said rapper/actress. I kid you not. Like, I always I love money. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm here to like make money in, you know, whatever ways I can make it. I'm not limiting myself because I also don't ever want to compromise my music. So it's taking me longer to do certain things with the music, but I don't really give a fuck because at the end of the day, I'm more impactful. People are gonna remember the shit, you know, that I put out because it's me in that. I'm not trying to like steal anybody's style or do what the next person's doing. I'm not here for that. I truly understand my purpose. I move with the light of Allah. When I say that firmly because I know what the fuck I'm here to do. And that's why people gravitate towards me. It's one of those things. This is why when I said to Jada, because it's how people relate. People never forget how you relate to them at the end of the fucking day.
Yeah.
So with all that being said, like I always had like the rap shit, like that's me, baby. That's always been ingrained in me kind of thing. And I tell the story all the time. When I was a kid, I'm talking about like 4, 5, 6 years old, I was making up songs about like my mom and my grannies and my aunties when they were being bitches. I was making up songs about them. Me and my cousins be in the room on punishment and we making up songs. I kid you not. So then when I got older and I was in school making up songs about teachers, if I ain't like you, I was and I was one of those kids I could get everybody else not to like you. And we all gonna sing that song, fuck you, bitch. Like that was, you know what I mean? And horrible. But I always had that. People that went to high school with me, if they ever run into me now, they always be like, yo, I still have that CD you made in high school. I still remember that song you did. So like, it's always been a part of me. It's never not been a part of me. Even when I wasn't doing it because of wherever, you know, life took me, it was still like, I always came back to it. Cause it's like, you know, it's one of those things like when you're supposed to do something, spirit is always going to move you in that fucking direction, no matter what.
Yeah.
So, pardon me, I'm long-winded. I do
no, go with it.
Yeah, definitely go with it.
Yeah, it's cool. You gonna edit this shit. It's cool. Like, fuck that bitch. Don't never have her on here again.
Nah,
believe me, I appreciate it because we have some people on here we talk to. We ask them a question, they be like, yes.
You gotta pull it out.
I mean, like, damn, bro, this ain't a deposition.
In all fairness, that could be that, you know, like their life experience. They might just be used to like this interaction being like, you know, interrogation kind of thing.
Yeah. You know? Then why you agree to an interview?
You're right. You're absolutely right. I'm with you. I'm just saying, I get it.
Let me have somebody that say that they can't answer because of something. They can't answer for incrimination and all that.
Listen, it happens, man.
No, seriously, we have somebody seek us out for an interview and they ain't answer no questions.
Oh, no. That's not cool.
Oh, go ahead, Kenyatta.
So I always ask this question: with him, you write, with him, you make music. There's recording, there's studio, there's performing. Which one of those is the thing that you really enjoy the most? Like, with him, do you like to be out there on that stage? You like to be recording, right? I know it's not an easy one.
No, it's tied between writing and performing.
Okay.
Because it's like both sides of my Libra skills. Like one side, it's like my writing. That's when I'm introverted. You know, I'm introspective. I'm usually out in nature. So I'm with me in spirit, and we doing what we do. And I'm a channel. I'm just the vessel for whatever the fuck they want to get out. Unless it's just me being competitive and letting you know I can out rap you. But either way, I like to be in my own element. And then when I'm performing, like that's my extrovert. That's me being social. That's me being coming. Yeah, I'm coming to speak to the people. Like I had to go. You know, I was in solitude, like doing the fucking internal work. Right. And now I could come out here and show you my beauty kind of thing. Like I'm a cocoon, now I could be a butterfly. And I used to box too. So like that was one thing I loved about box. It was like, you know, being in front of people. Yeah. Well, you got to watch me, baby. You know, I used to be in the gym. I loved having eyes on me. It was like, because, you know, I'm a star. I don't hide that. You know what I mean? Give me attention. Give me good attention. Good attention. Good attention.
I'm sorry, go ahead, finish.
Nah, I was just saying, so it's just like, yeah, it's a tie between the two. Like if you put a gun to my head now, I mean, I can't choose. You gotta kill me.
Yeah. One of the things that I really appreciate about you is your business acumen. And the reason the reason why I'm saying that is because it's apparent to me that music is the avenue for what it is that you're trying to do.
Yeah.
But you have a brand, you've built the brand. There are many artists that we work with that they're solely interested in building a song, right? When did you realize that building a brand was more than just creating a song?
Baby. Thank you. Here's my little, how do I do that? My little fake brochure I'm working on. Oh, I hate these cameras. This shit is all backwards. No, thank you. I really hope that you get to use it. You give me your feedback privately. We could talk about that. Listen, like I told you, I'm a hustler, baby. I don't got that. You know, I could use the, you know, people are biblical and all of that. They took Proverbs 31 woman that she got to be like this. First and foremost, that woman was a fucking saleswoman. She was a businesswoman. Right? Like let's call a spade a spade. The Bible, and y'all from New York, I'm sure you know Reverend Ike used to have all them fucking. Right? He was telling you how to get your money. At the end of the day, this shit is esoteric. The Bible is a money book, the same way the Quran is. You know, these people know that. They gonna tell you that. So like I'm well versed on that. Like when I say, and I'm gonna say this, take it how you want. I'm a practitioner and I'm a devoted practitioner. I don't care what the fuck you call the practice, like you know, the semantics at this point, but I'm devoted to Allah, source, the universe, Obi or Jumbies, whatever the fuck you want to call it, right? So with that being said, I know that at the end of the day, money is what? It's energy. It's a current. It's energy, and there's money magic, and I love money. So like even, and I'm not trying to like make it seem like I'm only about money, but because it's energy, it's a tool. We're here, and I know how I like to live. I know the type of life I want to have. I know how we're supposed to live. Let's call it a spade, right? We ain't supposed to be in, you know, if you're of a certain tribe and certain tribes, you know, certain indigenous tribes across the globe, you know, you abundant. You are God, you know, God, the mother, the father. It's just that, you know, we have been conditioned and tricked and programmed to these devils came and they living how you supposed to be living. I know I'm supposed to live like that. But in the same token, I ain't gonna snake you in order to live like that. I just, you know, I move how I'm supposed to move in nobility. With that being said, like I said, you know, I worked jobs my whole life. I was working even when I was in high school. I was like rolling dice. I was like selling CDs. I was, you know, always a hustler. For myself through college, I sold cocaine. I ain't afraid to say that because you can't prove shit. You know what I mean? So like, you know, you know, I was always about that, and I always, like I said, I like to live my life a certain way. I come from nothing, but I was never. I knew it. Like fuck out of here. Like you could. I'm good. Like I know y'all like. Let that shit run you. I'm good. Like I'm good on that. You know what I mean? But in the same token, I know how to survive. But I'm not one of those people, like I said, that's trying to snake the next person. And at the end of the day, business is two things, right? And I'm gonna say this: is you need a skill set, right? Whether it's a product or service, something you're presenting, you're selling, or you're bartering, and it's also networking, which is what? It's just relationship building. A lot of people don't understand how to build relationships. They're so, and this is how I know, like, you know, when people say they're about business, I'm like, you thinking so short term because you so focused on this instant gratification because you only concerned, got to get to the bag. You know how much free shit, and not even just the salve. Like, I understand you got to spend money to make money. That's actual business. Forget like, you know, theoretical shit. That's actual business. You have to have like, you got to put capital and be willing to like, kind of lose money, so to speak, because you got to get your shit out there. That goes without saying.
You gotta let people test the work.
Exactly. This is why they get loans. This is why, like, you know, people, like, if your business is not successful, you get caught because you got to pay back the loan out of your own fucking pocket versus the actual revenue that you bring in, because you know how, you know, like it's about profit. On the flip side, it's also, like I said, it's relationship building and it's networking. It's like I show up authentically. I don't have to do business with just everybody. I really don't. I don't rap with everybody. When I was like hustling, I definitely didn't hustle with everybody. You motherfuckers hustle backwards. You want to sit outside somebody's bodega. That's, you know what? There might be a man thing too. Like men be men. That's your like, that's your environment. That's not me. I'm a woman. Even if I be looking like, you know, like trash, it don't matter. Like my energy is dainty, baby. It's like, no, like leave me. Let me be in peace. So I like, you know, I want to wear pearls and all of that shit. I want to take nice fancy vacations. I want to be away from people kind of thing. So with that being said, I never had to make money with just everybody. You know, and when I look at how people move with the music, especially now, it's kind of like they see, oh, this person got this kind of following, and they want to latch on to certain people because they have an audience of following. I get it. It's a business. Me, I'm like, fuck you. If your following is not righteous, like we not on the same type of time anyway. I don't need that. And guess who's going to be more successful in the long run? Come on, baby. You know. And I also, like, I worked in corporate America, and I was always like, any job I had, I started off at like maybe office assistant kind of thing, and then I always worked my way up. I might have started off like an office manager. I worked my way into like project management, and not because I was applying for promotions. It was just like people paid attention. Oh, nah, like, oh, you know, kind of thing. So like, and I get it. I could tell people I could tell you how to run a fucking business. I just don't, because I don't have like the actual fruits of my labor to speak at the moment, which is why I shut the fuck up. But believe me, when I'm able to talk, you ain't gonna be able to shut me up. Yo, kill this bitch. I'm telling you. When it comes to rap, I stay silent on so many things because I'm like, because I'm a woman, I have to learn. That's part of my journey here, is learning like to discipline my fucking tongue, right? I gotta learn, like, yo, shorty, just sometimes just shut the fuck up, because it's gonna come a time where I could talk all I want to talk. You know, I tell my friends this. I'm like, yo, when we die, and this is all said and done, I look forward to being able to turn around and telling you guys I was fucking right. I was right the whole fucking time. Shit fucking was gonna be.
You mentioned money as a tool. I don't think a lot of people realize that money is a
tool. Listen, I'm a hippie. I'm the hippiest of the hippies, but like, how you gonna pay your rent? How you gonna pay for shit? Like, you need some kind of income.
Not a labor alone.
Whether you finessing people for it, like, I mean, how you get it, that's a whole other thing. But you need it. You know what I mean? Even if you want to like live off grid, like my thing is I want to live off grid like them white people. I want to live in like the swamps. I just need like plumbing and Wi-Fi. That's it. But I want to live like in a bayou or some shit like that. But I still need money. I want to be able to like cultivate my own crops. I still need money. I gotta buy the seeds. I gotta buy the food to get the seeds. Like you need the shit. The same way, like even when I look at the music, I love music. I love rapping, and I know that there's certain things I'm never gonna do. So like, I'm gonna be blocked in certain areas, and I own that too. Like I don't feel a way about that. I'm not like in my feelings about the gatekeepers. It's like I'm not willing to do that shit. So why should I complain about the people? If you want to do something, like you did it, so you should reap the rewards. Even if you getting the rewards at your like the expense of your self-respect. That's still like you still did it. So get what the fuck you're supposed to get. So I don't feel a way about anything, but I also know like, come on, baby, I'm gonna have everything I'm supposed to have.
And also, you know what it is? You want to do shit that aligns with your values.
Yeah, of course.
Who you are as a person. What do you say to people? Because I've also heard people say, that like the same thing I say, money is a tool. Well, money really doesn't exist. Money's not a real thing, or time is not a real thing.
Okay, time is an illusion, right? We could get on that, but money is currency. Currency is a current. A current is energy. This is all esoteric. I'm gonna say this. My coach, my boxing coach. That's like I don't box anymore, but like that's like we locked in for life. And he used to be my mentor in a lot of things. And one thing he always told me, it was like, there's two realms of everything. It's what you see and what you don't see. There's always an unseen realm, and it makes sense, right? Because now we think about like in the human body, right? Like you have your body, what you see, but then you have your fucking spirit. You can't locate, even people that study neuroscience, you can't pinpoint where the mind is in the brain. Like they don't know where the fucking mind is, because so that speaks to like something higher, something that you can't see. Same thing when you study metaphysics, you study energy, you can't see this shit. You can't see frequency, but this shit fucking exists, right? Same thing with the government. We don't see everything they fucking doing, but they clearly doing some shit behind the fucking scenes. Look at Diddy. Half of these idiots didn't know what he was doing, but he was clearly doing some other shit behind the scenes. There's always something you don't fucking see. It's like when you find out somebody's a fucking pedophile, it's like, what? It's like, yeah, like you ain't see that side of them, kind of thing. And so that's the same thing with money. It's like there's an esoteric component to it. It's money magic, money laws. Why you think there's people that they just seem lucky, right? And it's like life just works out for them. It's like, no, it's the way their subconscious is programmed. It's like they're not programmed with lack, they're programmed in abundance. So like things are always going to work out for them. Even if they don't have a fucking dollar to their name, like they're always going to be good. That's a different kind of wealth. Same thing, like when you look at people, they have money, they have the physical aspect of it, but like look at the people around them. Like they don't like the people around them. Half of them don't even like their fucking spouse, man or woman. They don't like their friends, they don't like their family. It's like they don't like the their business affiliates kind of thing. They don't like those people, but they so locked into like the just the physical aspect of it. But it's like, but you're not even fucking happy, baby. I mean, like that's not real abundance. Because when you die, when you're in your deathbed, all of these rich people tell you the same shit. Damn, I wish I would have like spent more time on like doing what I love or with people I love, and that they all say that. All the old people say that. Even the evil people, when the evil people on the deathbed, they trying to make amends. What are you talking about? They're like, why don't you want to learn? Like that's once again, that's when you don't have to. I tell people this all the time. After this life, I don't want to come back. I want to resolve all my karma, so I never have to come back here. I could stay on the other planes forever, because like I'm good on here.
Yeah. You see a lot of people are financially well off but spiritually broke. You see that all the time. What do you think prevents artists from moving out of creative mode? Because like I just said, like I see you really working and building your brand and moving beyond. Like, you creating songs, but this is an avenue. It's, if people actually sit back and observe, they can see like you got more going on, and it's more to what it is that you're doing. But I see a lot of artists also get stuck in creative mode where they just like, I'm just on, like they think that rap is an end to a mean. And if you look at it, even if you look at like the trajectory of where rap has gone and the ability to monetize music, like how many people are really making like substantial money off of music these days?
None of them. And I'm gonna say this, right? This is why like I let people say whatever they want to say, post what they want to say. That's all through. That's an illusion, right? That once again, that's what they showing people. I know it's not what you can't see. I see through that shit because I'm fully aware of that. I just don't necessarily speak on it because it's not, I really don't give a fuck. That's your business. But a lot of them also, those are if you observe their characteristics, I'm guarantee you, like, they're the type of people, they're not thinking long term. They don't think this is like feeding their ego. It doesn't matter if they could rap or can't rap. A lot of this shit is just ego. It's feeding their ego. They're getting the attention. And for some of them, that's all they need. Okay, cool. But then like 10, 20 years from now, where's that going to, they ain't getting you any fucking where. And then they're going to be the same ones talking about gatekeepers and that. I'm also not negating gatekeepers either, because a lot of these motherfuckers ain't on some shit. I see a lot of men in particular complain on the internet, and I'm just like, oh, wow. Like, you know, first of all, I'm a woman, and like, I'm supposed to be the emotional, irrational one, but okay, cool. You free to complain.
In your feelings.
And I'm looking at, I'm like, yo, but like, why don't you just like who, like, come on, don't even tune into that. Like, tune into what, the kind of reality you trying to make. But they don't even have the esoteric understanding of shit. They so locked into this, and those are the same ones that want to do whatever's hot for the moment. And what this person's doing is, oh, okay, well, you know, you don't want to learn. You want to be in your ego. So there's that. I'm also not here to tell people, I say this all the time, I don't have 1 million followers. I don't have $1 million. Don't listen to anything I'm saying. I just know internally and intuitively, I'm going to have all of that shit. So I'm going to be able to have the last word, and then I'm going to be able to turn around and tell you all the fucking things you did wrong. Right, but I can't do that yet. I got to show and prove. So enjoy the journey.
But you can put it in the universe.
Yes, speak it into existence.
It's coming, baby. It's only a matter of time. Wait, I can't wait to tell rich people now how poor they are. I'm like, oh, you're too poor for me. I can't wait. Fuck out of here. You voted for. You don't love yourself. Okay, cool. Fuck you.
Oh, go ahead, Ken.
No, I appreciate the.
All right, fuck you. You trying to play me during the. Look at you now, baby. Look, who got the last laugh? Yeah.
I definitely appreciate the realness and the truth, because you have so many people, like, I find that when they're not getting it, it's not about it. What I mean by that is, like, if you're not making money, it's not about the money. You know, I don't care. You know, I'm doing it for the love or something. Like you said last time, the rent wasn't paid by love. They don't accept love at the store.
Listen, there's definitely a demographic of artists, and this is not limited to rap, that they really are doing this because they love to do it, you know, but they also have jobs or a way to pay, you know, supplement the income. But then you have the rappers, like you said, like, they really thinking they're gonna do this, but they're not, like, you're not thinking longevity. And it's like, I also know you're lying, because you talking about certain, and you giving people an illusion, like, it's the illusion. Like, when I saw certain things, there's definitely been moments in time where people have like tried to like, yo, come, let me show you what I could do for you. You know, they trying to hit me with the flim flam, and I'm just like, okay. And I'm gonna let you talk. I'm gonna let you say everything you gotta say in my mind. I'm like, this fucking, he has no fucking right. Okay, cool. Right. And I'm like, damn, and then the more you get around, people like, oh, it really is like, it's just bad business. That's how I fucking look at it. It's like, you just people doing bad fucking business. And at the end of the day, I love rap. I'm gonna always be myself in the rap, and I know that limits me in certain things, but I know how to finesse that shit. I guarantee you when this is said and done, I'm gonna go down a legend with this shit. I guarantee you.
Yeah. I remember 50 Cent said, listen, if you making music that you love, listen, that you want to do, play that, put that shit in your headphones and play it for yourself.
You want to, let me tell you something. No, because I'm gonna show you right the fuck now. I don't fucking play. And everybody that knows me, oh, you probably can't even see. I only listen to myself, and that's not me. I love the music. I had a I don't know if you know Jamil Honesty. We getting ready to put out and we were texting the other day. It might have been yesterday. I was like, look, at the end of the day, whether or not people run it up, like, I love the fucking song. I'm gonna listen to this shit all the fucking time. Like, I keep my own shit in rotation. I don't complain about the music that I hear on the radio, because I was blessed with the gift to make my own fucking music. You know what I mean? I can make my own fucking dope. Even if other people, I don't give a fuck. I listen to this shit. But I also know my shit is really dope, and you gonna like my shit too. And it just so happens that other people like my shit too. But yeah, I listen to you fucking bugging. I don't even listen to rap like that. I listen to, like, you know, like soca and dancehall and salsa and all of that shit. Jazz maybe. You know, different things. But for me to listen to other rappers, it gotta be like, I'm rotation, like a 50 Cent, Cameron. It's old shit. You know what I mean? Stag Bunny.
Yeah. It's you know, I think it's dope also that you say, like, in terms of like success, what defines success, because I think a lot of people get roped into also thinking that, you know what, success is certain amount of streams, certain amount of sales, and things like that. But at the end of the day,
listen, you're not making no money off of that shit. Let's be 1,000. Let's be transparent. Let's not beat around the bush, because everybody like to be like, no, because you're not making money off of that. I'm not saying that's your intent, but you're not making money off of that. It's no different than you know, when they after they like, they talk about when they have like certain people that they associate with. Oh, this person follows me. They still ain't give you no business tips. You ain't get no fucking money off it. And I'm not saying that the end all goal should be to get money. It should be whatever like resonates with your spirit. But like you want the money because just based on how you move. Like if you move, like I said, there's a demographic of people that they're not in this for the money, and you could see it. They don't, they're not on here grinding every day trying to, but you out here trying to project a certain image because you clearly want the fucking money. So
Yeah, I mean, we interview like a lot of artists, like even artists that have been in the game for years, and you see them become disenchanted with music over the money, and it makes me wonder sometimes. Like, damn, like like when you first got into it, were you doing it out of love, or were you always doing it figuring like this is the way that this is my job kind of thing? But if you're doing it from that standpoint, and now like there were times where people were selling albums, selling physical copies, and still weren't making any money. So what would make you think that you're gonna make a bunch of money off of streams and stuff like that? That also brings me to another point where I think that
you can't pay bills off of likes, baby. That's at the end of the day. You can't
in this day and age, though, I always trip when I hear that somebody signed with a record label, because I'm like, why would you, what are you looking for from a record label that you can't do on your own? But I get that kind of goes back to and speaks to like validation that people may have, like their dream may have been, I want to sign a recording contract or whatever.
Pardon me, is a lot of them internally, they're not mature. They haven't matured to a certain, a different kind of stage. And it is like, it's just ego. And a lot of people are lacking and they're looking for something to fill that void. And so like they quick to make certain decisions that they probably would not have made had they been, more self-aware to certain things. Like I said, I pay attention to all of that shit. And I also know like, whatever, like, some people, they spend their whole fucking life, and it's outside of rap too, just like projecting a certain image that like that's their character, and they got to deal with that shit at the end of the fucking day. They got to go to sleep, and deal with
knowing it's all facade.
Yeah, so I love rapping. At the end, I always rap. Whether I make money or not, I'm gonna always do it. And like I said, this is why I know me specifically. I'm limited in certain things, but like I'm gonna figure this shit out. Like, cool, you got this door closed, this gate closed. I'm gonna go through the window. I'm gonna dig a fucking tunnel. I'm gonna put a fucking hex on you. I don't fucking know. I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I gotta do. I might not. I'm being facetious. Maybe I'm not. But like, bugging. Like I said, I'm gonna have the abundance I know I'm supposed to have. But because I move with Allah, like no matter what, like I pay attention to people that like have tried to give me information even years ago and try to make it seem like they had, and I surpassed them in so many aspects. I see people that. I'm gonna say this, they post like certain people that like their posts, like such like my post, and my mom, like first of all, I'm like they don't give a fuck about you. First of all, if they ain't give you no money, or if they actually message you and say they don't give a fuck. But in the same token, how many like this? I don't brag. I'm not even here to humble brag, but there's definitely people. If I wanted to be like a name drop, I could be like, this person is like actually message me. They communicate with me on a consistent basis off of my art. I could post this shit, and it's not limited to one person. It's like, but I'm like, no, I'm good on that because I don't need my ego fed in any. I'm not here for any of that either. Like, and I also don't want people to think, well, I'm associated with this person, so now you're gonna try to get close to me. No, that ain't happening either, baby.
Yeah.
But it's like I pay attention to that, and it's like even when you get around them, and it's that same egotistical energy. It's like that's not gonna get you far in life. But you know what? Once again, I can't tell you shit now because I ain't far when it comes to this.
You schooling me. I didn't even know that was a thing that people be posting who like they.
Yeah. It's they want that dopamine hit kind of thing.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I seen it all, baby, and I'm just like, all right. But once again, I'm still. It's like, but them same people you over here trying to like, they like me. They respect my shit. I just don't have to go around and like, well, that. Because I don't care about that. Because I think people also get a gist of, that's a real woman. Like we can't come over there foolish. That's nah. She on a different type of time. Like because I command that respect. I don't move around. I'm not a gutter snipe. I don't conduct myself like that. I don't take anything away from it. I just like I could be around that and still like not be of that. You know what I mean? So it's like even when I walk out my house, like I walk very confidently. I don't walk in a minute like move out my way, but I move. And like I own my space, but I mind my business. I'm a logical, rational woman. That's another thing too. A lot of these men are not who you think they portray themselves to be. And I'm in a position where it's like I know so much shit, and I know some people they be feeling nervous. And it's like, I know I would never like talk on anybody. I ain't gonna tell anybody's business, but I love the fact that people don't know that about me, and they think like, oh shit, she might say this, she might do that. Yeah, be scared, you little bitch. You know what
maybe you need to tease a new book. Never write it. Just keep teasing it.
You know what I mean? I have more books coming too, but I'm trying to write a book that they use in college. Like ultimately, I want to write like a philosophy book. This is kind of like my test run. Because I always want to write a book. I have so many ideas, but this was just like I'm just like, this is my test run to learn how to market. Because I self-published it. I do everything my own. Everything is like, you know, like I did everything. Like, so there's all the money that I'm gonna eventually get from it is coming back to me. But like I said, this is my test run, so I know when I have other like real shit, then cool, I know what works, what doesn't work, and even then I'm gonna really be able to get all the money to myself. So, so I have all the gifts. God bless me with everything I need. I don't need a fucking thing from you people other than your money.
So am I gonna see you in Harvard doing lectures?
I mean, I would love to. I swear to you, I would love to like be. I always wanted to be a college professor. That's the one thing with John Jay that I loved is that the teachers were like of those jobs, right? Like they were cops that were the teachers, they were the lawyers, they were the psychologists. So you're learning from people that actually work in those fucking fields. So like they have the experience. And I always admired that. And a lot of them were real New Yorkers too. Like at least when I was there, like they was with all the shit. They knew all the real fucking information. Yeah. And I'm like, damn, like I like that. Even with the Cosby Show, Claire, she was a lawyer, but she was also a college professor to an extent too. Same thing with Fresh Prince, Vivian. The black Vivian, dark skin Vivian. I know they're both black, but the original Viv, a college professor too. I remember, and I'm like, yeah, and those women were regal and they were so smart. Like I always loved that shit. I'm a teacher. I'm a natural. You know, we the first teachers. Your mom, your grannies, your auntie, your big sis. You know, it's just like that's why, like, even with the rap, like I'm trying to teach you guys, but I also know, you know, we about to go in a fascist society, baby. They ain't gonna let my fucking views in these fucking colleges. What? They don't want me in there. You know, I gotta hustle my way in there. I gotta like fuck a professor or saying, yo, like put this in your curriculum, baby, kind of thing.
Yeah, people don't realize those books that go in those textbooks forever sell.
Oh,
yeah.
Textbooks forever sell.
They're reference books essentially, and you know, if you could get like picked up by one of those like, you know, big publishing companies that do those, like forget about it. Like that's legacy, you know. So
yeah. Your competitive MC, where does that competitiveness come from?
Oh, I'm a Libra, so I'm very competitive, but it's healthy competition. Like it's you know, it's in fun. Like I'm not trying to like my existence is not more valuable than your existence. If that, you know what I mean? But like it's rap. Like same thing. Like, you know, I used to box. It was like, yeah, like I'm gonna talk shit. I'm gonna talk all of that shit. We gonna get here. We gonna beat each other up. But outside the ring, it's all love. And rap is like boxing with words, essentially. Yeah, I'm coming here to fight you, baby. Like, what you got for me? You know? So.
Yeah, we had Tracy Lee on. Remember Tracy Lee from
it's a party. This is how we get down.
We had him on. He was talking about, and somehow we got in the conversation. We were talking about his record with Big, because he did a record with Big, and he was saying that Nori on Drink Champs was kind of clowning him, saying that how you call it, that Big destroyed him on the record, and that's why he wasn't making music anymore. And I'm like, damn, like as a native New Yorker, I was telling him I don't remember anybody ever saying that Big destroyed him.
No,
on that record. Yeah, but I guess that was Nori's opinion on it. So I was saying to him, I was like, man, I kind of feel like that it's like this unspoken rule in rap. Like if you got, you know, let's say you got 3 people on a song, you know, usually you have your primary person go first, and then you'll have the person close out the third, and the person that's in the middle for some reason always seem to kind of be like the person that's like the bridge, the in-between person, you know, but that person for some reason gets a bad rap as not being as strong as a rapper as the first person or the third person. You get that? Is that?
I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. Because it's definitely, but like I say this, like I'm gonna be 1,000% real with you. Like I come from that cloth, like, and I also know, like, any record I'm on, y'all know damn well I'm supposed to be last. And most people respect. I'm not gonna lie. Most people, they tip their hat off to me, they respect me. But then I also get on records where like they already had it mapped out and they were just looking for somebody to fill like a position kind of thing. So that's why I'm like, you know, I don't feel any way, especially like fuck. I don't give a fuck where you put me. Like I'm gonna have the best verse with any fucking record I'm on, and I say that lovingly, and everybody knows that. The same token, like I don't mind if I'm on a feature, right? And I don't have to hear your verse. Like I don't need to hear, like just tell me the concept or whatever it is we doing, and I'm gonna get busy. Like I don't need to hear the other people. Like I don't give. Like I'm competitive by nature, so I'm gonna make sure when I get on this shit, it's gonna be like, yeah, leave me the fuck alone. That's it. Just leave me alone, kind of thing. So
yeah, I do think there are people though that want to hear other people's verse. You know, like I think that I've encountered people that record their verse and they hear other people's verse and be like, "Nah, I'm gonna re-record my verse."
No, I mean, I don't think that generally happens, but I think sometimes, like, you know, especially with rappers, like they want to hear other people's verse because they want to know how hard they got to go. Because if you hear the verse and the person kind of went like you're like, all right, cool, I could skate on it. Like it's kind of like a subconscious thing, especially if you have multiple features and stuff you got to get out. Because pardon me, like I said, it is like boxing, right? So like sometimes in sparring, you're not gonna have hard sparring every fucking session. Sometimes it's really just light work. Sometimes it's like, yo, you just want to move, yo, you want to work on this, like. And I think that kind of transitions into rap. As a rap, you want, okay, cool, yeah, he ain't, you know, cool. I could just, you know what I mean, and I get that. Me personally, like, I don't give a fuck. I don't want to hear. I'm coming and I'm gonna say what the fuck I have to say. Even if I chill on a record, there's been moments where I chill on a record and I heard other people on the record and they was, I'm like, well, cool. I mean, I ain't come like that. So if you had the hardest verse, like, it's cool, but it's not really any comparison because like I still smoked you even when I was just chilling. So
you know who had that energy?
I feel that way about all my raps, baby. I don't put it like that.
You know who had that energy before Cannabis? It was a time where Cannabis was getting on a record, you know, at the height of his career, and any record he got on with everybody, he was bodying.
Yeah.
You know, it was kind of like, you know what, that was his mission. And then, you know, I don't know what happened.
Listen, what was that one? Oh my God, it was on the Clue. Was it Banned from TV? Was it that one that had Cam?
Yeah,
a whole bunch. Was that what it was one with Cannabis? I can't remember, but I remember in his bar he was like, "Since I got I got 8 scared to catch me," or some shit like that. I cannot. It was one of the. It was Cannabis. I think it might have been Camera. I might have to look that up, but I will never.
Maybe because they had Fantastic Four, right?
It might have been Fantastic Four. Yeah. Might have been that. Yeah. It might have been that. I gotta look that one up. Banned from TV. Banned from TV was another dope one though. That was on the Nori joint, right?
Yeah. And this is still people debate to this day who had the best verse on there.
Pun or Cam. I don't know. Yeah, I liked how Cam came on that shit.
But you know what consensus says? Nature. A lot of people say Nature had the best verse. A lot of people are like Nature. I think I'm biased. I'm from the Bronx, so I'll probably say Pun.
Yeah.
And now recently gaining more steam, I'm hearing people say Cam. Before, people was like, you know, Nature or Pun. But the crazy shit is I don't think I've ever heard anybody say Nori.
No, of course not. Nori was like the Jim Jones of rap. You know, I mean, if you know, you know. I don't have to get too much. If you're from New York, you know what I mean. It's personality type artist, like, you know, he's like a crash dummy in a sense. You know, the type of go do that shit. They'll pay you to go do that dumb shit. You know, and much respect to him. He got a podcast now, but you know, why they didn't have Source Money on that podcast?
Source Money is crazy. Source Money got balls. Source Money get busy. Yeah, Source Money definitely get busy.
He's another one. He ain't compromised on certain things, and you got to respect that man for that. So
Source Money is dope. He always been a dope lyricist. Source Money was writing records for me. I think he wrote "I'll Be Missing You" for Puffy.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I didn't know
that. Yeah. Source Money get busy. How'd you end up on Punchline Academy?
Oh, that was one of those, like my homie plugged me. Shout out to Doza, shout out to Goins. They had been on Punchline like a few months prior. And then I don't know if you know Skinks, the rap martyr, the flow fashion, he's from Brooklyn. He had a show last year and Amadeus happened to be there. My homie introduced me to him, like, you're busy kind of thing. And then, you know, we've been in contact, and then he was doing he was trying to do a female cipher, and then I think it fell through, but I think essentially he put me on kind of thing. And I did the basement joint, and then I think, you know, we got good views. It was really dope. And then from there, he hit me up another time to go up on Shade 45 with the young woman, Unique Waters, super fucking dope. From Harlem. And yeah, that was that. We've been locked in since, man. He's a cool guy. Cool guy. Good spirit thus far from what I felt. So
right. Hey, we had a chance to have Trouble on. But shout out to Trouble.
Oh, what's up, Trouble? Yeah, and Trey 8, peace to the both of them. And
And she we asked her who inspired her, and you were one of the people that inspired her. How do you feel about that when your contemporaries are being inspired by you?
I saw that, and I was very appreciative of that. It speaks to my spirit, and it lets me know I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, because I know when people say they're inspired by me, it's not limited to like, oh, she could rap kind of thing. It's exactly what I put in the rap. It's the way that I craft my raps. I know that. This is why I tell people all the time. It's not to say, I'm gonna always say I'm the best because like I'm supposed to say that. I ain't supposed to ever say somebody better than me. But let's be real, like I'm not the best MC, I'm not the best lyricist, I'm not the best rap. You know what I mean? Like there's a million of me when it comes to like the actual rapping. But I stand out because I'm myself and I put myself in my records. And, you know, like I said, I move from my higher self. I move from, you know, from purpose. So when I'm rapping, yeah, I like rapping. I like letting you know I'll rap you, but that's not the most important aspect of it. For me, it's making sure that I get a certain message across. I got a lot to say before I die. Unfortunately, you know, I'm not a teacher. They ain't gonna put me in these schools, and I got a lot of wisdom to share with these children. You know, and at the end of the day, I was given like a real fucking gift. Like I'm a rapper's rapper. Like there's no way you might hear one thing and that might not be for you, right? But then you're gonna hear something else and that's for you. Like I know I could do that. I could touch every fucking audience, and that's why I stand out too, because I could do what they do. They can't do what I do. So, but I also know when they say they inspired, it's a wisdom. It's a lot of wisdom. Even in person, when you meet me in person, I'm like this. I'm not in my fucking. I could easily walk. I'm like, yeah, for what? Like, come on. Like a lot of these people too, they weren't popular in school. Like that's why I said this. Like that ego, like that void. Like I was always the shit.
Yeah. It's a sad day though if you got to get your validation.
I say that in a conceited way. I say that like I was always cool. Like I'm cool. Like I always been fucking cool. Like you know, that's how I move. So. You know, and I always share gems and love and wisdom with people, especially like I've been through a lot. I come from like some real shit. I've been through real shit in life. I don't lead with that. I don't have to walk around with, I don't get fuck out of here. Like I said, I know how, just because I know what I came from, but I know how I'm supposed to live. So like, I don't act like what I came from, you know what I mean? I don't look like what I've been through. Like a lot of motherfuckers, you look rough and your spirit, you know, acts rough. But that's because that's what you've been through. Like I'm good. I finesse that shit, baby. I alchemize it and I share that wisdom with other people, especially when I see like women in rap, because I know what it's like to like, pardon me, go in spaces and like there might be women like I might have loved when I was young because like she got busy, and then when I was around as an adult, like she ain't really embraced, and not that she had to, but it's like yo, like you a woman, like so you don't really move like a woman's way. You don't have to, but I keep that and I observe it. I'm not in my feelings, but you know, same token, I rap better than all of them, so it's cool.
Yeah. How important is it for you to trust your own process rather than jumping at what's perceived opportunity?
Like I said, I'm a devoted practitioner. I don't go against my intuition. My intuition is my GPS in life. And that goes, and I use that in business. I use that in all across the board. So,
yeah, I asked that because I think that a lot of people, you know, that they could have this wonderful business plan thought out that includes them, and somebody come along and be like, well, I got $5,000 and everything $5,000, you know, I'm joking. I don't know whatever the amount is, but then everything that they've worked on and all the business plans go out the window.
I've had offers on the table since I was 17 years old. Okay. I mean, real fucking offers. And I was always a very intelligent young woman, and more intelligent than people expected me to be at a certain age. There's certain things I didn't do, even as a woman. I'm not here to speak on that and speak on certain things I know other women did because we were around at the same time. But, you know, like big money was always on the table for me, but all money ain't good money at the end of the day. Like that's my spirit. And I always understood that. Even this is horrible. This is a horrible example, but this is the only thing I could parallel it to. When I sold cocaine, right? I sold to rich white people. I used to work in an advertising company when I was younger. Like I sold to like, you know, wealthy people like that were in that lifestyle. I never sold like real work to my homeboys because like I just assumed they would sell crack, and I was like, I can't be associated. I literally assumed they would like use it to make crack. I know that's hard, but I'm like, I can't. Like I'm always bad enough I'm doing this, but like you guys are like, you love money more than me because like you're willing to do that. I'm not willing to do that. So pardon me. So like. That's also the same thing. Like all money ain't good money. And like I've been around like famous people. I've been around certain things, you know, and I'm good on that. That's it. I'm good on all of that.
From Aïda.
That's my dear.
Alligator. So where does Alligator Alfred come from?
Yeah.
Listen, I tell the story every time, but this is why like branding is everything, right? Respect my acumen. Once upon a time when I was getting back on Instagram, like I was in a relationship and I had deleted social media, and then when I was getting back on IG, I was like, I need a name that this person so they can't find me. I was trying to hide from my ex-boyfriend. So I was trying to think something that nobody would fucking think to look up. And alligators are my favorite animals. Alligators and cats. And then I was like, Alfred. It just rolls off the fucking tongue. Alligator Alfred. So that was my, that was it. And this is like before I was even I was always starting to learn the promotional aspect, but this is before I was like even pushing like rap the way I'm pushing it now. This is like my personal page. And then when I would be in the gym, in a boxing gym, people that like follow me on Instagram, they're like, yo, what's up, alligator? Ha, just joking kind of thing. They would just call me alligator. And then my homies that rap, they started calling me Gator, just to fuck. You know how guys are, just like, oh, Alligator, because it was a funny fucking name. It was like, it was so random. It was like, what the fuck is this? Like, you bugging. And then from there, like when I was rapping, they just started calling me Gator, and then then I was like, all right, cool, like I'm the Gator, like I would put that in like little bars in there, like like Gator bars. And then I think after a while, people just thought that was like my thing, and I'm I ain't fucking stupid. Like I saw like that was like it became its own kind of brand. I was like, oh, I can capitalize on this, bro. So I did all my projects were Girl with the Alligator, the Tattoo, Reckless Gator, Gator Tapes, like Gator Food, or Alligator theme. My book, I should have had a fucking copy of Ask the Alligator. My product, Gator South. This shit is real. I'm tatted. Like this is not no fake. Like you know what I mean? Like, and once again, they're my favorite animals. This is not just branding. Like the brand became its own brand, but like that's like I fucking breathe life into that shit. So even now I know a couple of people, they run around with the Gator shit. We all know who the original is. It's all good, and it's not gonna work for other people because that's not really you. That's a promotional thing, and that's cool. But everybody knows, and everything I do is always Gator this, Gator that. I got Gator socks, Gator everything. So branding, baby. And it's silent branding too. Like that's why, like even when I be putting up like my little political posts, like I'm gonna put them shits up because that's how I fucking feel. But I'm gonna make sure I try to sell you my product too. Fuck you. You're like, give me your money.
Oh man, for your book, would you say your book is predominantly for women?
Yeah, it is. But there is gems that everybody can utilize. So far, the men that have read that book, they have given me like good feedback, and they've actually shared it with women in their life of age, because it's vulgar, so it's not appropriate for if you have a daughter, she might. It depends. You got to use your discretion. But it's gotten great feedback. People that know me, like they're like, nah, that's you. That's all you. Because I put like it's all over the place. Like my post, like I can't say that. It is all over the place. Like my post is like scatterbrain kind of thing, but like it's witty, it's raw, it's vulgar, but it's also real, and it's real wisdom that I have like kind of like under. It's it's the art of the con. Like I'm making you think I'm a horrible fucking person. It's probably what Cameron's doing, right? Whole time it's like, no, baby, I got a lot of wisdom and love for this world. You know what I mean? I'm one of the people raising the earth's vibration. Like I'm on that type of time. So
I think I don't know if it was Amazon or somewhere. I think I read was that the foreword?
Oh, I don't know.
That.
So that's chapter 1. Yeah, that's how I capture chapter 1. Sell that pussy. So anybody, what the fuck? Especially if you a man, what the fucking whole shit? And when you turn the page, yeah, dumbass. Now you got it. And it's like now that I weeded out all of the misogyny, and then I talk about exactly what I'm trying to do with the book. It's more so I'm trying to. I have some wisdom I could share. It might be useful. It probably is useful, but everybody's also not meant to receive it. It's like that's why I'm not trying to I'm not in your DMs. Yo, check this out. It's more so I post stuff, and if it's something that you might be interested in, people be like, yo, like how can I get that? I never force my shit on people. That's another thing too that I see with these rappers and other content creators and all of this shit. They like in your DMs, they force feeding you. I don't force feed shit. Fuck you. I know I have wisdom. If you don't want it, that's your life. Like I'm a life hack for real. Like people that know me outside of the internet, they know how valuable I am in their fucking life. Like on. You know what I mean? Like I'm a spiritual blessing. So like if you don't want this wisdom, that's totally on you. But there's people that fortunately they get it. And I know that I'm here for a certain reason, for this, the point in time that I'm here on this planet. There's people that are supposed to receive the knowledge that I have. And that's that same way I receive wisdom from other people that are willing to, share certain things with me. It's a process, but it's a cycle. So
yeah. Go ahead, Ken.
Yeah, I appreciate what you're talking about, how you share things. So everything you do seems to be an authentic thing that comes from you, and you don't step away from that or something.
Nah, because that's spirit, man. I gotta, like I said, I discipline myself. This is why when I say I'm devoted, like I devote myself. There's not one day that goes by where I'm not doing that internal work. I'm not checking myself and seeing what I need to work on. I'm not trying to organize like my actual internal mechanics. Same way, like if I'm taking care of my body, like I make sure like I work out. I make sure I eat a certain way. Like there's certain things that I have. But the one thing I gotta say is that I make sure I do everything I need to do to be confident enough to show up in this world and do the right thing. So if that means I got to do some superficial shit and work out so I look good and I feel good about myself, but I'm gonna use that beauty in a empowering way, or if it means like I got to go get money because I know that people respect money, but then I got the money, but guess what? I'm a loving fucking person. I don't have to be a fucking asshole. I'm gonna show you that. You know what I mean? Like it's so I could show up like Allah at the end of the day. So whatever it is I need to do, I discipline myself. I'm very disciplined. People don't know that unless you really get around me and you say, oh nah, she really, I'm that. So
yeah. There's no ascension without any tension. There's no growth without destroying the strength. Elaborate on that bar.
Come on, baby. Listen, once you can't become wise without fucking up. You can't get to the other side. You got to go through it. And you got a lot of people, they don't want to go through it. And going through it, you got to deal with that shit internally. It's like, right? I never did a bid, but it's the same notion. When you're doing a bid, you're doing life, right? At the end of the day, who do you want to do life with? A lot of the people in prison, those are not the type of people you want to be around, but you got to spend your fucking life with them. This here, like we on here on the earth plane, we're doing life, right? Like you're born into this fucking dimension. You're basically doing life here. So who do you want to do life with, kind of thing? You know what I mean? And you got to go through it. I'm one of those people, like I said, I'm the type of person you want to be broke with. You know what I mean? You want to work a horrible job with. You want to go through that shit because like I'm not bitter. Like I'm gonna make that shit fun. Like I said, when I was little, we on punishment. And I'm making up songs. We having fun. Fuck out of here. You know, like I used to be in detention, and the teachers would be mad that I'm enjoying myself. Like you're in detention. Like yeah, I'm doing the time. Like, but you want me to be miserable? Well, fuck you. You know what I mean? Because it's like I'm not doing that. And so, you know, Ascension, when you start, like, when you really learn, whether even from a psychological standpoint, when you work through your traumas, right, you process that shit, and now you learn that you're able to bend reality, so to speak, because now you're moving from a different frequency, different vibration, and that really is Ascension, right? The earth itself, like living in the fifth dimension, so many people don't know that. This is why COVID and all these other things are going on, because they're trying to keep you locked in low frequency, right? Because then that keeps the vibration a certain way that they can feed on you, control you, you know what I mean? So all that in a nutshell.
Yeah. No, I look, I appreciate it. And, you know, when we were sending you the different beats or whatever, and you picked that beat, I'm like, all right, we got the theme for this song. This is what we going with. And it turned out to be a really, really dope record. And again, I want to thank you because, you know, like your verse was spot on for it.
Thank you. Like I said, thank you for even like wanting to have me on that project. So I appreciate that. I always appreciate when people like listen to my music and like, oh no, I would like to do music with her. So like it just shows me like, thank you, like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So thank you.
Yeah. You know, you definitely are, and just listen to your music in general. Like, you know, I'm like, this is a person who has, sadly, like this is the benchmark for good music. This is a person who has integrity. It ain't a lot of that.
No, I mean,
that now. It's not a lot of that. You know, like integrity,
but you know what?
Work ethic. You have it. Like you're definitely, you know, I appreciate that about you.
Thank you. I wanted to say this though. This is why I said I know what I'm supposed to have, because I have like my scales are balanced. Like my masculine energy, I don't expect any handouts. I don't expect favors. I work for everything I'm supposed to have. But in the same token, my feminine energy, like baby, like I enjoy a peaceful fucking life. I'm gonna work with some shit, but I don't want to be around that, you know, that discord. Like keep that shit away from me. I'm fine being a loner. Like I could literally live like off grid by myself. Just give me my alligator, my snake, my cat. I'm good, baby. I'll do the fucking thing.
Oh man.
But I'm here to work for it. That's, you know, and that stands out too, because I know I've also been around certain men and they might have perceived me a certain way because, you know, they might have just thought I was one of these women that like was trying to get, you know, finesse men for some shit, and then they felt stupid. It's like, oh no, like yeah, sir, I outwork you, fucking idiot. But you know,
yeah. I mean, that may be like dudes' insecurity, you know, like I don't get that vibe.
No, you're on the money. And this is why I said I don't tell anybody about them. I'm not going to, I just observe it. I already know. The same way I said earlier, there's a lot of women that have never experienced being around a real man. There's a lot of men that have experienced being around a real woman. Like a woman, like she's, you know, beautiful in her own way, but she also shows up authentically. Like her love is not conditional. Like I don't have conditional love. Like you don't have to be a certain for me to love. You just got to be a righteous fucking person. You know what I mean? Like you a stranger on the street, but I'm gonna show you respect and civility and dignity. Like I'm not I'm like I said, I'm not a gutter snipe. You know what I mean? But a lot of people never really been around that too. So even women never necessarily had real friends, like real homegirls. So they be on that catty shit. You can do all of that shit, but I ain't gonna stop you. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. Just you can't be around me. You know what I mean? That's simple.
Aïda, plug whatever else you got going on. Plug your
I ain't here to do all of that. Listen, listen, ask the Alligator Gator Salve. You know, I'm really appreciative that you even gave me the opportunity to come in here and talk my shit, because I know, like I said, I'm long-winded. You know, and I gotta be a real woman. I gotta just say this. Listen, we living in a time, man, you gotta take a stand on what you truly believe in. And that's really what it boils down to. That's all I gotta say. Is we live in a spiritual warfare right now. And if you have any sort of intelligence, like you really gotta stand in that shit. And you really gotta, you know, utilize yourself as a leader, man or woman. I don't care who the fuck you are, but you got to lead in that, because it's kids on the line now, right? They fucking with kids at the end of that. Now it's serious. Like take yourself out the picture. There's generation after generation of children that they coming after, and they coming after them fast. And these kids, they're not self-aware, and they're not. And listen, all the technology that's being thrown at them, like they're this overstimulated. So you really gotta take care of these babies, man. That's all I gotta say. Just show up as a righteous person. I don't care what you do, just be righteous.
That's a fact. Appreciate you, sis. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, my bad. Let me plug the homie Shoebox Money. I'm so sorry. Shoebox Money. Yeah, that's it. Shoebox Money. Shout out to you. Thank you, baby. I appreciate this. And listen, thank you both for allowing me, like I said, the opportunity to come and run my fucking mouth.